Just a few things that I've learned so far with my ASP.NET studies that I'm going to kind of go over, kind of more of a video for myself, but I'll make it public in case anyone else is interested. Um, so this is my web application, and let's start in the home controller. So the home controller is kind of, you can put a lot of stuff in here, kind of like classes and stuff. You could put you could make like another, there's like a class here. You can make another class like right here. I actually made a person class. I'll just show you that real quick. This is the person class. Cool little things you can do are statements like this, required. So like in this, you'll see where this required comes in when I actually open up my web page. But you can probably guess what it does. But this is just a person class. I made this just by clicking over here, home, add class, and then it's going to add the person class. Actually, I did it'd be under models here. So you go to models, you click add, and then class, and allow you to add another class. So I made a person class. Now this person class, Web Application 1 models, you can see if we go to web imports, that's going to show you this web application models. So it's kind of like importing a library in C#. So this is kind of like the using, obviously the using statement. And this models word here, you'll see that later on as well. So I showed you the person class. We can close that. We'll go back to the home controller. You'll see right here, public action results foo. I completely made, or I added this and this right here. So this return view. This is like the web. This is like the web page. So you're returning to the web page, person in. Obviously, you're passing a person object in, and it's just going to return it. It's kind of silly, but it was for educational purposes. HTTP post. This is obviously posting to, post obviously, and then get from, right? Pretty standard stuff. My object, name, last name, date of birth, and then I'm actually returning here with the view. I'm returning the person object, so you can do that. View data message. So this is the message. Change this whatever you want. This is not strongly coded or strongly typed, so it could put integer whatever you wanted with this view data, whatever, right? So okay, so now let's look at my actual foo. So if you look here, this is foo. We've got model person. You'll need that. Now the model right there, see models. I don't know if that's it. I'd have to think about that. But person, if we look here, view data message. This view data message, this right here is pulling from the home controller, and home controller view data message. So that's going to be what prints out on the screen, right? Let's go back to foo. All right, you've got a unordered list. See the model.firstname. Model.firstname. That is what is passed. So we'll go back to the home controller. You can see first name, last name, birth date, and P right there. So that P is being passed back to foo, and then the P gets interpreted to model, so at model, and then you have access to your first name, your last name, your other, your other class variables. This is a form that we made. You can see it's got, in addition to some HTML, you've got this ASP code. So, and also I guess there's kind of bootstraps in here. I don't really know any bootstraps, so it was all new to me. I'm going to try and go over some of this. Hard to remember, but obviously, if you know HTML, you know what a label is, and then and this, of course, is so text box. This, I'm honestly going to just pull that out of there. You know what a placeholder is. It's just what's in the box. Instead of the box being completely empty, you can put you can put first name here, whatever you wanted. So now validation for first name. Now this here span ASV validation for first name. We'll go back to. We're done with that one. We'll go back to. Oh, it was in my person class. So let's open that up. That's this here. This required, so it's validation. So here's your validation required, and then string length 10 max, 2 min. So obviously everyone has a name less than 10 digits, right? So that'll work. Back to foo. So that's just this is just a form. It's got all sorts of stuff going on in it. Now let's go back to layout. Now, the interesting thing is when you fire up the web page, which I'll do in a moment, this layout, look, foo, there isn't much on foo, right? I mean, I've got this list, and I've got this. So let me fire up my web page. This is it right here. Actually, I'll hit refresh. Get rid of this stuff. Okay, so all this, these text boxes, all these things, and the submit button are all on this page. But if you look closer at the page, this navigation bar is not actually in my foo. So where that information is in the layout, and if you look in the layout, you'll see it right here. You've got home, about, context, and foo. So that's it right there. So what they've done is they've kind of broken your web page up into a layout, which is basically everything that you would want on every page of your website. So if you had 10 pages and you wanted the navigation bar to be on all 10 pages, you'd put it in this layout folder, and that'll be on all of them. And then each one of these little ones, if you look over here, there's foo, contacts, and about, index. These are all smaller kind of web pages, and they're just kind of like a smaller view. I can't remember what they call it, but it's not the entire web page. It's just this portion here. This is going to be on all the web pages. So this is nice, obviously, because there's only one code here. As if you're coding and making a website with other technologies, you might have this code in 10. I mean, if you had 10 websites, you'd have this code, or if you had 10 pages on your website, you'd have this code in 10 different locations that you'd have to service. Oh yeah, one more thing. You go here. If I hit submit, it's going to give me these error messages: required field, values invalid, right? So what does that is the person class. I'll open that up again. Right here, this required, this, and this, and there is more code, but that you'd have to add. You can't just put that there. For example, you have to put your library in. And there was another little bit that I don't particularly remember how to do at this point, but Hopefully this will help me remember in the future.